I don't agree with a lot of your views, but what happened to you is disgusting. This rift between America first and Israel first is very real. You can feel it in the way even Republicans are talking. You know, like there were a few Republicans on the plane when I was flying home. And, you know, one of them said to me, you know, we saw guards, they brought you onto the plane. Thank God without cuffs. Like when I told the lawyer, I said, I'll go home, but no cuffs. And they said, no cuffs. You know, like when you're in the airport, there'll be no cuffs and you can, you know what. So they said, why did the guards bring you on? So when I told them the story, they were like, you know, it's all, one of them said to me, it's all Biden's fault. I said, what do you mean it's Biden's fault? He wouldn't let go, you know, if the Democrats had put up a better candidate. I said, oh, you guys are Democrats. They said, no, we're Republicans. But we're worried about the trajectory in which our country is taking because we can't understand why President Trump...
That is so interesting, that sentiment. That particular sentiment is so
incredible.
interesting.
But their words were, we thought President Trump would be America first, and we are deeply disappointed that he seems to be Israel first. We believe we need to focus on our own issues, and we can't believe, we reject that a country like Israel can erode our freedom of speech, even if we sympathize with the Israelis in terms of what's happening. I'll be honest with you, and this is the point that I'm making, in that somebody said to me when I came back and did the press conference, I sounded more conciliatory towards the Americans. It wasn't that I sounded conciliatory. I was aware that one of the reasons that I was able to come home is because there are people in the State Department and there are people in DHS who looked at this case and went, oh, do we really need to do all this for Israel? Like, what's our interest in doing this over here? There are Americans genuinely who are waking up and saying, I don't like what's going on in my country.
I mean, they don't want to see the erosion of their laws locally. I mean, America is famous for messing up the laws of other countries.
100%.
But they don't, you know, they do respect rule of law in America.
Not only that, I'll tell you something interesting. I won't name names, but like some very prominent Zionists had me on, you know, like speakingly, you know, and the like after I came out. And they would say, listen, I disagree with you on Palestine, but I'm furious they tried to take away your freedom of speach.
These are Zionists in America.
Zionists in America.
Okay.
Zionists in America.
Yeah, and I'm just because it wouldn't be Zionists in
Israel. No, it wouldn't be Zionists. Yeah. Zionists in America who would say to me, and bear in mind, like I'm against Zionism in all of its forms.
And these are Democrats or Republican Zionists?
These are, to be honest, I don't
know. I'm just trying to get
off the top of my head. I don't know. You know, Marjorie Taylor Greene, for example, is not opposed to the establishment of Israel or the like. She just doesn't like Israel interfering. I would still call her a Zionist, even if I believe that she's America first versus Israel first. It's become very blurry as a result of what's happening. But I had even Zionists saying to me, Mr. Hamdi,